What's good, family? So I've been thinking, like, with some of the footage that I have coming, it's gonna seem kind of repetitive because it's a lot of me just on the tennis court, and it had me thinking, like, maybe I should really share with the people exactly why I even play tennis and what drew me to the sport. And so yeah, I find myself in a moment of vulnerability and felt like it was on my heart to just kind of share why I'm so infatuated with the sport, why I like it so much. To be honest with you, my introduction to tennis was through the Williams sisters. I remember, I think it was like year 2002, maybe, and they were competing maybe for Wimbledon or something. One of the girls were on. And my mom turned it on, and I was just like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And it made me kind of think about what I was doing at the time. So I actually just went out one day and picked up a tennis racket just to try the sport for myself. And I was infatuated with how quickly you have to be able to try to come up with a resolution, or how long you can challenge yourself to outlast the person on the other side physically, or trying to figure out why your forehand isn't necessarily connecting the way that your backhand connects, or working on a new skill of trying to approach at the net. Or it's always something about the sport where you're constantly having to stay on your toes. And I just fell in love with it. And it was also my way of kind of making a rebellious statement. And it's funny because my family, for those that know or may not know, it's full of freaking athletes. Like, everybody played something. All of my siblings played baseball. My parents played ball. All of my older cousins played ball, baseball, football, basketball. And I'm not talking about like just your little everyday little league, ball players. Like, these people were like freaking beasts in their crafts. And I had a slight introduction to baseball for many years of my life. And, a lot of people felt like that was going to be my route, was baseball. But something about tennis just like really grasped my attention. I was like, you know what? Forget baseball. I'm going to focus on tennis. And I can remember it kind of upset my daddy. I'm not even gonna lie. It did. He was pissed. He was like, tennis? He was like, why in the world would you want to go play tennis? Don't nobody know anything about tennis. I don't know nobody that play tennis. And it was like, freedom! Because not that he was necessarily a sergeant, but like when my dad, wanted us to be good at something, he would do stuff extreme, like really extreme, in order for us to get the point. I can remember being a child and him teaching us how to catch, like little leaguers, like literally, like we were like maybe 7, 8 years old. He would come home. My father was a truck driver. He would come home. He'd be like, oh, shoot, I'm at home with my boys for the weekend. And he'd be all excited. He'll get us up out of the bed. He'd be like, hey, let's go play ball. He'd be like, let's go work on your catch, or let's go do this, something with baseball. And I can remember this one particular time I was having a hard time with catching. Like, that hand-eye coordination for me was just wasn't really snapping. And he was like, well, I know how to solve that. And he was like, the ball hit you, you should have no excuse, because if your glove can reach your knee, your glove can reach your shoulder, your glove can reach your midsection, your private, there's no excuse for the ball hitting you. Like, trust me, you gonna figure it out, because you're gonna get sick of the ball hitting you. And I was like, what? He's like, come on, let me show you. And I remember we went outside, and we got our gloves and the baseballs. never really wanted for anything as a child, so we always had this equipment available to us. That's a slight humble brag. Shout out to you, Daddy. But anyway, we would get out in the yard, and he just grabbed back and just threw the ball as hard as he could, right above my head. Literally right above my head. And like I remember hearing the ball go by like, doo. Like that's how hard he threw it, and it hit the back of the house. So like I didn't have to go very far to get the ball. It ain't like, he threw it and I had to like run across the center field or something to get it. He like literally just, but he threw it right at me. And he was like, we might be out here a little longer than I thought. He's like, your dumb ass didn't even move. And I was just like, you almost killed me. You gonna knock me out with the ball. He was like, oh God, okay. And I just had to see where we were at. But eventually, we worked on it. He showed me, hey, put the ball out in front of, catch the ball out in front of, and all this other stuff. But I thank God for those moments now, because in tennis, it's really hard to hit me with the ball. Like, I mean, if you hit me with that tennis ball, like, you have really, you not got me. You not got me good. And I was looking at some of the footage through, the tennis, where I was sitting here watching it. And I was just like, God, that's crazy how, I think about how I got some of the skills that, help. But shout out to you, Daddy. That's why it's hard for y'all to hit me with a tennis ball. Now, going back into why I felt like that was such freedom for me, because I wanted to kind of break free of the expectation. Like I said, coming from a long legacy of family of athletes, at a young age had a slight pressure on me, because like I felt like, well, what am I going to do to stand out, to be, good, to be, oh wow, look what Neris did, because everybody had already covered all of the athletic ability. So I did a couple of things musically. As everybody know, I sing just a little bit, just a little bit. But tennis for me was like a freedom from even the singing expectation, because I came from a long legacy of vocalists. So it was just like, freedom, like something don't nobody know nothing about. Here's a chance for me to just like break free. Boom, here we go, tennis. And oh God, I can remember it had some ugly moments, because I went to a somewhat predominantly white school. So here I was thinking I was at least gonna run into somebody that I knew, that I roamed the halls with, that somebody that I, was familiar with. And I can remember my junior year of high school, there was a girl that was in the choir, and she was on the tennis team. I didn't even know she was on the tennis team until it came time for the senior play, and there was a particular part that she wanted, and I was in the choir room rehearsing for something, and she came in and she was like, "Hey," letting the choir instructor know that she wasn't going to be able to make some of the rehearsals for the senior play because of a tennis tournament that was coming up, and so they were going to be traveling. And I was like, "Oh my God, you play tennis?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I get your number?" And she was like, "Yeah, we can totally hit sometime." And that was all I needed. I found someone that could at least teach me the rules, how to keep the score, when to say add, dues, all of the stuff, like all of the things that you need in order to somewhat carry yourself like a respectable player on the court. And yeah, I guess there was the beginning of my, journey with tennis. So yeah, shout out to her. I should probably look up her name, because I ended up playing on the high school tennis my senior year with her neighbor, or was it that her little brother? I probably should go back and look up some stuff and see, but yeah, that was my introduction to tennis.